Steve-O.
Steve-O, the voice of ACW, for the first 5 years. Steve-O is, I don't know if he knows this yet, but he's now retired from ACW. It's just too hard, man. I mean, it's too hard for him. It's too hard for me to rely on him, coming all the way from Oklahoma. Steve-O's been a friend of mine for nearly 10 freaking years now. We've done radios together. We've done videos, not those kind of videos, you perfect. We've done ACW DVDs.
I was going to bring those up later, but
we did the old ACW TV show. It was always me and Steve-O. Me and Steve-O working together in a commentary type of way is just as good as anything you see on TV. And I hate to put myself over, but I really am putting Steve-O over by saying that, because we can bounce back and forth off each other better than anybody I've ever worked with. And I've worked with a lot of people in radio and in stand-up and in music, and just being able to collaborate with somebody. Steve-O's the best I've ever worked with, and I miss having him, and I wish he lived in my freaking backyard, because I could have him in ACW forever. He was ACW. He got paid more than most of them. Michael Berry, Mr. Saturday Night, great wrestler. I wish we could have done more with him here in Colorado in ACW. He's one of the few people I thought I could rely on. Definitely somebody I'd like to see carry the ACW title someday. I think by the time we do our next show, I think Michael Berry will be actually furthering his career in OVW in Louisville, trying to make it with WWE, and I wish him the best of luck. And I hope I get to work him someday, because he's just one of those guys that you just want to get in there and fight with. I think I really think he's got a future if he keeps his personal shit straight. As that goes with anybody. Keep your shit straight, and you'll go farther than you would if you don't keep your shit straight. Michael Berry's a cool dude. I consider him a friend, no matter what happened in the shows. And hopefully, if he flops in OVW, he'll come back to ACW. Ha!
The Pastor Kenneth Campbell.
Pastor Kenneth Campbell came to me as a rookie back in about 2002, and maybe 2003 actually. Called him the Outcast, Kenny Campbell. That's where he really got his feet in ACW. That's where he started. That's where he learned to be a performer and a entertainer. And he really grew up a lot in ACW. And he has a loyalty to us as I have to him. And he'll always be a part of ACW as long as he can make the trip. He lives in Oklahoma as well. Right now he's the institutional champion. He's held just about every belt but our heavyweight title. I like Kenny Campbell. or Kenneth Campbell, the Pastor Kenneth Campbell. The Pastor, I'm not exactly sure where he's going with that. I know he's he's an interesting character. He's always been, but the Pastor Kenneth Campbell thing, I guess he found God, and I hope they have a great life together.
All right. Our future president, Mitch W. Carter.
Mitch W. Carter, another guy who was completely green when he got to ACW, and has another guy who basically has found himself through us. He's the future president of the United States. Is an awesome gimmick, and he's actually it's not a gimmick. He's a very, very political person who has a lot of opinions, and he might actually run for president one day. I would not be surprised at all. And would I vote for him? I have no idea, but he's a amazing athlete, and he's another guy who will go as far as he wants to go, and he's one of those guys that's got his head together. He knows where wrestling sits in his life, and I respect Mitch quite a bit for that. I don't either. He's going to go full-fledged, or he's going to put it where it belongs. He's got his priorities straight. He's a good kid.
Good. Tommy Revelle.
Tommy Revelle, he's only got to work with us a few times, but from the time he came to us, and from what I've seen recently,
right.
I want to get my hands on that little motherfucker. Or he's not little at all, actually. He's got, but what I mean by I want to get my hands on him, I want to work with him. I want to mold him. He's one of those guys that is coming to me green that ACW can turn into something, much like we did with Kenneth Campbell and Mitch Carter. And I can't even. Everybody who's come to ACW has been better when they went out the door. We're the place to go when you want to learn this business. We're the place to go when you want to further yourself and advance yourself and mold your product into something worth a shit. Because I've seen so many people come in that door. I've seen Bernie Donowitz, Peyton Scott, just name after name after name who had nothing when they came in here except for an open mind. They let ACW get in their head, mold them around, give them direction. Now, these guys are awesome. Guys like Angel Williams, guys like even like Chris Matthews and all these guys that some of them don't even wrestle anymore, but they came here with nothing, they left with something. That's one thing about ACW that I've always been proud of.
Well, just a couple more. Any final things you'd like to get off your chest? Any little more crap you'd like to spew on someone?
I like spewing crap.
I know you do. I've known you a little while.
One thing I need to get off my chest are these man boobs. My God.
Oh.
ACW's been around for 5 years, man. We've been through, the highest highs and the lowest lows, the best of times, the worst of times. And recently, man, I'm telling you, I was ready to quit completely. But it's, with the family coming up, with the kid coming out, with I made the kid sound like a record.
I know it's coming.
Yeah, I got this kid. He's dropping on the October 30th. Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got a baby on the way. I've got a family. I got kids in Texas and everything. And I've got a great situation here, and the alcohol enforcement problem on August 31st, as well as like people like John pissing me off, O'Malley, and it's just a bunch of negative things in a row. And I was telling you, I was ready to walk away. I was ready to sell the ring, buy a drum set, buy a PA system and start singing again. That's I was seriously at that point. But it's people like yourself and the sponsors you represent, Game Crazy and Hollywood Video, and other sponsors like Buffalo Wild Wings and guys like Mitch Carter and Kenneth Campbell and Thomas Ravel and the guys on my crew, and just. Everybody who's just keeps, that are so committed to this thing. And for me to sit on top of it and pull the rug out from underneath it, that would make me quite the asshole, to be honest with you. Especially when we got so many new people who haven't even seen a live event yet. My love for this business is it's unreal. It's when you say professional wrestling, you get these weird. You get this line, there's a line, because millions of people watch it, but still it's pro wrestling. So you feel, I'm 34 years old now, you feel kind of dumb sometimes, going, I love pro wrestling, I don't want to be that guy sitting up in the bleachers going, it's real to me. I don't want to be that guy, okay? But it really does mean a lot to me. I mean, I've got my kids, and then I've got ACW, which is basically like a child to me. I get to do everything in the ACW, and I love doing everything in ACW. And I've done everything since day one till today. And I'm not ready to see it go yet. I'm really not. As far as my final word goes, ACW is not going anywhere, ever. Even if I'm 90 years old, that freaking ring is going to be set up somewhere. There'll be a bunch of young dudes jumping all over it, and I'll be sitting in the back smiling, because that's what I picture in my head. And if I die, someone better pick up this goddamn ball and keep running with it. I appreciate everybody since day one, all the boys who have came, sweat, bled in my ring. Appreciate every single one of you, whether you've pissed me off or not. That's a love you can't even describe when people put their bodies on the line for you, and they give you their blood and they give you their sweat. To all the people that paved the way for ACW, I appreciate all you guys, and I appreciate everybody who just joined us, like you, and I appreciate you doing this interview. I appreciate the guy holding the camera. I appreciate the guy who made this chair that I could sit on. If I believed in God, I'd appreciate him. Whatever. I'm just, here's a big smooch on the booty to everybody who's ever helped us, whether it's big or small. And I'm looking forward to paying you back by putting on some kick-ass ACW events really soon.
Right on. Appreciate your time for letting us know what's going on with ACW. Hey, thanks a lot, Brandon.
And thank you, Brittany. Thank you. You're still hot, and I love you. Leave Brittany alone!